Hi there. How goes? How goes Friday? Today's a bit off. What do you mean already? Annoying. Hold on. Ugh, why do I keep being summoned? Be right back. Stupid package! I did order 3 rolls of my to make myself. I know that's not your thing. Also, hi. As I say for like the 5th time. But yeah, I had to go deal with a thing. Hopefully now I'll not be interrupted for more than 5 seconds. What was I about to go on about? I think... Yeah, that's how I was. Not bad. Had to run around. Got poked in the arm. Had to go... I get... It's fun, isn't it? I had to go get poked in the arm, so my arm's slightly sore, which is why we're doing spinning, so I don't have to do terribly much. Also, I hadn't spun in a while, so I was like, you know what? Let's actually, do that. Also, I nearly forgot to bring my foot pedal over here. I hope, should hopefully not. It's just that it was a lot of blood, so I just shoved some peanut butter covered crackers in my face as soon as I got in here. And also, I literally had to help with the groceries and stuff, so it wasn't like I immediately got to come back home. But yeah, it's been a morning. I'd hoped I'd get back here before on time so I wouldn't have to go speeding about, but nope. Also, when we got back, there was like some... I don't know what the heck was going on, but apparently part of the block nearby, or street, was cordoned off, and it was like, what's happening? Don't know what the heck's happening. We didn't go and look, obviously, but I was like, okay, something happened here. Yeah, there's nobody really there, so not sure what the deal is. So, it doesn't appear like, fire or anything along that sort. And it's like the main road. We're like a little bit back from there, but yeah, it was still, this wasn't that way when we left, so not sure what happened in the past 2 hours. Maybe. I didn't see anything about that, but that's also possible. But given people on the other side of the street, I don't think so. Yeah, because the businesses on the other side of the street were still open, because, gas leak. If that goes poof, that would be bad for, like, a good distance around. And like I said, we are not far from there, so we would probably get told of that. Yeah, it would not be that then if that were the case, so I don't know. Hopefully it's nothing bad, but who knows. It was weird. Other than that, not terribly much to report on my end. I mean, yes, Twitch-wise, they've expanded the emote slots. So basically, let's see, affiliates will start with like 5 tier 1 emote slots, which, given I had already unlocked, like, the couple of the bonus ones, that means I have 8 total. So, yeah. Tea, this is the oolong. Oolong chocolate chai. Which I am, like, a little close to getting finished, and I'll be really sad once it's done. As I say every time. But I love it a lot. This is honestly my favorite out of the both of them that I have. And yeah, I've drank that a lot. I wasn't planning on having it today. I was just gonna be like, let's have some water. But given the whole having to give quite a bit of blood, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I will have my tea. That is my reward for having to do all that. Which, I got to wear my shawl out. One of my shawls anyway, because it was stupid cold when we got there. Well, not stupid cold, but cold enough. Because the temperature was, 40, but the feel like was always... Yeah, I hate needles, so... Yeah, I was getting myself a reward. Don't care. And also, I was not expecting that many. They said it was going to be like a full panel, but it was like, I did not expect that much. Plus, tiny veins. AJ! Hi! It's been a while. How are you doing? How goes? I typically go for... Yeah, I really had the urge to go to the corner store and get, you know, some M&Ms because I love M&Ms a lot. But, given that was, like, nearby where that whole thing was happening, I was like, you know what? Forget it. Plus, I kind of just want to go home. I was like, can I just be done for today outside? But yeah, I would love some chocolate right now. So, the tea is a second. 5 vials, keep handy clay. Yeah, I got 9 vials, and I weirdly did not get lightheaded. It's been strange. Been working on a lot. No worries! Like, I didn't mean that accusatorily speaking, like, you know, you've not been here. Like, no one's required to be here, but, you know. It's been a while since you've last popped in. Hopefully everything's been well. Also, I think the other camera, I'll need to mess around with the saturation once I get to it, but that will not be right now. We're just chatting about things and stuff, because I had to get on here. You've not missed anything, because I got started about nearly 20 minutes ago. Which is not my usual, but, you know, outside required my presence. And so that was a thing. Got in like 12:30. I was like, I'm not starting at 1 p.m. I need to eat things. Sometimes, yes, indeed. Life happens. Ooh, what kind of a project? Hopefully something fun. But yeah, I got to finally, well, this is the second time I've worn this shawl out, which one is this? I think like Gulfstream Draft yarn. I think something like that. Ada Fox! Hi! How have you been? I saw you've gotten back into streaming stuff and things, and although it's been like 10:30 at night, so I've just been like, okay, it's a giveaway. But hopefully everything is well. You've not missed terribly much, as I keep saying, because the whole, hey, I just got here like 20 minutes ago. Because I had to deal with outside and such. Slowly getting back to turn mostly. Fair enough. It happens. In regards to this shawl, yeah, this is a Knit Picks pattern, which if anybody wants it, I'd be happy to link you to it if they still have it available. I presume they do. Really do enjoy it. A lot of life stuff. Hopefully good. Hopefully good. But if not, definitely feel free to discuss about it if you want to. But yeah, let me go over here. Both good and bad. Okay. Why are we here? Alright. Also, let's move my phone. I had done this beforehand and didn't do the thing. I think I need to mess with the saturation just a wee bit. And then we will get started on the spinning. But yeah, on the whole emote thing, the sheep I was working on Wednesday, that will probably go into one of the slots. I think the nap one, once I tweak it, hopefully it will get better. I will probably put that into one of the other slots. Because, you know, now that I have about 8 full tier 1 slots, that'll mean some stuff. But also that'll mean if I move the nap back, I'll have to put 2 more follower emotes. Which, that's gonna be a thing for me to think about. So it's like, that's kind of like, yay, here's stuff, but also, hey, that means more work on my end, because I'll need to sit down and sketch some and work on some emotes. Which, that's not a bad thing. Also, I do hope that I can maybe get some commissions out of it. Potentially, if I get lucky. Who knows? Alright, where am I? There's the thing. Properties. Configure video. I was really surprised. I wonder why. I imagine it could be all the Yes, that's been going on lately. That's the only thing I could really foresee being why they decided to, hey, let's give it affiliates more emotes. That and or... And thanks, Twitter, for telling me about the news I already know about. Already depressed enough on that one. Don't need to hear about it again. Which I'm not going to go into great detail about that, but... you know, the whole Rittenhouse trial, they apparently found him not guilty, so that's a thing. I'm not surprised, given the makeup of the jury. Although I didn't sit through the trial, so I am not sure of the validity of the evidence, but I really do feel like, I should have gotten convicted. Life exists. Not been up to terribly much on my end. In some aspects, my body's been a slight asshole, and it's not been fun. Nothing too terrible that I know of at the moment. Which is why I got myself poked today and had to go give, like, 9 vials. So that was fun. And by fun, I mean I hate it. Started learning, oh, you mean actual school, or... No, that wouldn't make sense, because this is... Learning to tattoo. Okay, I was like, is there a word missing? Yes, it is. Alright, let's see. Because I haven't started spinning yet. Let's turn this on. I'm just sitting here babbling. There we go. It's gonna go a little bit slower. I'll see what speed I'm gonna cover at. Start learning a tattoo. I'm in an... Yay, apprenticeship! So I'm guessing you have changed your mind? Or you're using that in addition to school stuff also. This is not doing any uptake. So let me up the tension, because it's not doing the thing like it's supposed to. Yeah, it wasn't drawing in. That's weird. I must have adjusted it at some point. That's interesting. I felt the twist happening, but no pull whatsoever. How long have you been doing the apprenticeship? I presume, like, since, you know, the semester has started. So... Although, if not, obviously tell me otherwise. Come on. Dude. Secondary thing, because I wasn't sure I could physically do it. Yeah, you had said that you had, like, reconsidered the tattoo thing because of, you know, back issues. Which, that is completely fair, given what you've told me, so it makes complete sense. I'm glad you can get the opportunity to at least do some apprenticeship and see how it goes. Okay, so this is very recent then. How are you liking it so far? And there goes my answer. Timing. Yay! I'm glad things seem to be going well so far. With that. Come on. Alright, let's get some... Okay, I need to make sure this gets enough twist in here. I have not touched this, like, spinning project in, like, about 2 weeks or so. Which, this is a merino silk blend, about 80% merino, 20% Tessa silk. I had bought from Alley Cat Fiber Arts, which she does have her Etsy, and I believe it is still open. Yeah, I checked the last time, and it's definitely still open. She has some spun yarn, which she spins herself, along with dye fiber, which I've honestly wanted to dye fiber. It's one of those, I feel like I'd rather wait till I have the space to do so. More time could definitely do my career. I get 6 months before I get tattoo human skin, unless I can find a in 2 months. Why in 2 months? And I'm guessing 6 months is like the trial period to make sure, you know, you don't F up things, because, you know, if you do on, you know, actual person, that can get very wrong very fast. Minimum time before I'm allowed. 6 months is for clients. Okay. Okay. That's good to know. Going to be test subject. Okay. Gotcha. It makes sense there is a waiting period before you can do the thing, so that makes sense. Oh, yeah, I suspect that. It's fine. As long as I do the thing, it is fine. I do remember that I was spinning a little bit thinner than my normal, so this might actually end up being really true fingering weight, whether it be a chain ply or an actual true 3-ply, or heck, even a 4-ply. Which I've personally not done a 4-ply. Wait, no, that's a lie. The sparkly stuff I did a 4-ply, but other than that, it's not a common way of plying my yarn, so not always sure how the plyback's gonna work on that. I do enjoy spinning this stuff. With home with some... Huh. Synthetic skin sounds interesting, but I was like, I nearly laughed at fruit, but it's... Fruit makes sense in tattooability, because, you know, it'd be around just as soft, plus, you know, potential water content. Because, you know, human body is like 2/3 water. Which is why hydration and such is usually a very good idea. Although I am personally terrible at that in some measures. Especially if I'm working on things then forget. How about the correct skin thickness to mimic? Huh. Pig skin is... Yeah. That's why they usually have those when it comes to science, to dissect a fetal pig, which that is not anything I did, but I know that's like a thing. That was a thing that came up potentially in college, but they didn't do it, so it was like, like, yeah, about early college. When I still had to do the science-y classes, which I enjoyed the science, although math is not my strong suit, and a good chunk of science sometimes is math. But I'm definitely more well-suited with the hands-on stuff and things. which is why the lab portion is usually where I shined. Because it allows me to understand what the heck is going on. Which, given all the craft stuff I do, it is not surprising that I am such a hands-on person. Since it kind of allows to see what the heck I'm doing, and if, you know, if I need to correct a thing, I can blatantly see it in front of my face. Also, I will rave about this for the 15th time. I really do enjoy the whole foot pedal thing. I don't have to think about starting and stopping this thing. I can just use the foot pedal, which I almost forgot to pick it up to put it on this thing. Because you can use the knob to turn it on and off, but I prefer the foot pedal. Because the foot pedal makes this very much an easier thing to get accomplished. Right now. That's stupid thin. Like, very stupid thin, and I very much don't like it. Turn off without having it, yeah. It's like, I don't have a problem with the thing, it's just simplicity of use. Also, I have to send stickers out. Yep, I should probably schedule that for Monday. I'm not on Monday, so I can do that without having to worry. Although, the mail people have been showing up like around noon, which is weird, but very helpful. So if things show up, it'll be before stream if they come by regular mail. Because normally it'd be during stream schedule time that stuff usually shows up, if not like right after in typical cases. So I suspect new people or a new route, maybe. A little bit more twist. That's the thing about silk. You need a bit of twist or else the stuff will, you know, fall apart. But once you get enough twist, this stuff is strong and hardy as all hell, which I very much appreciate. Which these will be lovely, lovely socks. Which no one is surprised I'm spinning sock yarn. That is 9 out of 10 of what I spin. Except on the rare occasion, which I do have some fiber hanging out there that's definitely not gonna be sock yarn. Like maybe future shawl yarn. Or even a sweater, depending on the thickness of it. But we'll see. No definite plans on that end. There it is. Sorry you guys cannot see my hands in frame, although I think if I went to the big back screen I could adjust, but I could probably wait till break and then deal with that, because it's not an immediate issue. Plus you can kind of see what I'm doing via the face cam, but it'd probably be better if I'd be able to get both my hands and bobbin on the screen, which, speaking of bobbin, I'm honestly pondering if I should have the bobbin be one of the emotes that I put in there. I feel like it'd be appropriate given how much yarn I use on the stream. That's probably not important, so I could check on that later. Discord notification. I'm in way too many Discords. Do you guys have any plans for today? Other than me having to go out today, I have no real plans. Probably gonna fiddle around with emote stuff because I need to edit that emote. I had meant to do with that yesterday, but I did not get a chance to. More like I didn't really feel like it. I guess I kind of wanted to give it a break. Yeah, no real definite plans. Which that also pretty much the same for this entirety of this weekend. Other than, you know, setting up envelopes to get sent out. I need it. No worries. I am definitely all for that. Also, what have you been streaming on the night streams that you've been on? Has it been like your usual stuff? So I know during the night that tends to definitely be, at least based on who I follow, definitely more game content. But given, you know, you're definitely of the art and sometimes the crafting territory, I imagine it was still art. So I haven't been able to pop my head in, because usually at that point, stream, okay. Yeah, because usually at that point in time, it's like definitely more of the gaming crowd is present. Although that would arguably depend on where you are in the world, because, you know, our nighttime is everywhere else in the world's morning, evening, afternoon, wherever the case may have you. So, it could change. Let's see. I'm gonna probably, hopefully, if this lasts till break, which I'm presuming it will, given at the thickness I'm spinning, I'm probably gonna have to make sure I get my scissors. I have a couple pair of scissors around, which, actually no. I could probably use, yeah, these are fine. Because I'll probably need to cut another piece of fiber. Because I'm very, very bad about remembering to bring scissors. It's like, you would think a fiber artist would remember, hey, you kind of need scissors to cut the ends of yarn and to cut more fiber and so on and so forth. But no. Half the time I'm just like, oh yeah, that. Also, I'm pondering maybe seeing if I could make more stitch marker designs. Because the ones I've been hanging out in the Etsy shop have not been selling, and I'm not sure what the thing is, although maybe if I got more traffic in, that would potentially help things, but I'm not sure. Because it's usually a general positive response when it comes to that sort of thing. Which I have a couple ideas, but it's one of those, I'm trying to make it not too elaborate. Although at the same time, if I did something that stands out from everybody else, it would probably work out. Although there's not terribly many chainmail stitch markers available in Etsy shops anyway. So it's not that huge of a pool, to my notice anyway. Because I usually check on that thing by searching through the Etsy shop, although it'd probably be better if I search it incognito. That would help discern where I truly fall in the thing. And see, I can go about getting things done, which I probably also need to do some more pictures at some point. Because, like, the shop's not really been selling at the moment. Not for a lack of trying. Which is, I'm kind of surprised. I don't get a ton, but I usually at least get something. I mean, yes, I have gotten stuff, like, earlier this year, but I haven't seen anything for the current holiday season yet, and it's kind of strange. Although I feel like things have, like, kind of slowed down. Not sure why. Who knows? I don't know. I honestly could be overthinking things. As is my wont to do. But we'll see. Yeah, I definitely do want to potentially add some more chainmail stitch markers and see what comes of that. A little bit more twist. Come on, don't do that. Just need to draft a little bit more. I've been being very terrible at keeping this even. Well, terrible to my standards, but not probably the worst thing ever. Also, this is probably the most white I've ever spun in anything, because I don't usually spin white things. Just because, given, especially with socks and stuff, I'm always worried it's gonna get dirty really quickly. Which is usually why I prefer color. And definitely a strong color. Because that is also my fear of pastels, which pastels are pretty. But yeah, in like the case of like shawls, it probably wouldn't be as bad. And work on. No worries. Enjoy your lurk. Also, you're reminding me I should sip more of my tea. Alright, so tea is still not cold yet. Yay. Because I hate when my tea gets cold. Which also, I think I could have a teacup as an emote, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Certainly would not be against that one. I'm pondering I should potentially have a vote of some kind for that, like have a straw poll and see how people feel. But I definitely do have some ideas, which again will mean I'll need to do some sketching. Come on. There we are. Also, I'm thinking with the other stream windows, like this one I'll probably keep as is. I like it better without a frame, although it'd probably be better if it didn't. I'm not sure. I have many things to ponder. Because I want to fiddle around with my setup. Maybe. I've been definitely wanting to implement some changes. It's just more of not having the time to do all the things, like wallpapers. So I still have to finish the wallpaper, but I definitely should be finishing that this month. The one that should have been finished at the end of last month. So, very much Halloween vibes. Which, for anybody curious, you can check out my wallpapers on my Ko-fi shop. I have 3, if not 4, currently available. Yeah, 3. Of the 4th one. I just started doing this, like, say, a month or so ago. Uploading them onto there. But for anybody who's connected to the Discord and has their sub connected to their account, there is a channel within it that'll allow you to download those for free as a little thank you for anybody who decides to sub. Which I'm wondering if I should maybe... I'll figure that out down the line. Anyhow, other than that, so other than the wallpapers, which there are 2 sizes for the wallpapers. There's phone size and then there's like tablet size. So there's always at least 2. I don't have anything for computer screens at the moment. But other than that, it's basically the pins in there for the moment. I still need to put the heart hat pattern in there. But I just haven't had the time. I was hoping I would have enough time today before I got on the stream. But I could probably do that if not after tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe? One or the other. Oops. Nope, nope, nope. Almost broke the yarn. Well, I did break the yarn. But it almost went into the thing without me fixing it, which would have sucked. I literally had to just yank the yarn back out of there because I don't have the tension high, so I can do that. I like just having enough tension it could feed into onto the bobbin, but not too much that, you know, it's literally yanking the yarn out of my hand, which that is not fun. Plus, it makes me feel like I'm going too slow if the tension's too high and it's just yanking it out of my hands. Also, if anybody's curious, the drop game, you can play the drop game on this screen right here. If you would like. They have that drop game pretty much on almost all the scenes that I have here on OBS. Also, I might be taking the tip thing off, although I think the issue being had with Streamlabs and such going on, Streamlabs and OBS I believe that's for, like, the premium stuff, where it's, like, apparently charging you to, like, change things when it comes to the tip link and all that, which I was not aware of. I don't have a premium, so I didn't even realize that was a thing. Also, we're at the end of that thing, so I have the floof right in front of me, so I never moved it from here, so I can cut another piece. Also make sure oh, yeah, my arm's still, yeah, right there's bruised. That's fun. That's fun. Alright. There we go. It's curled up a little bit, but I'm definitely able to split this down the middle. And then let me draft a bit. Although this doesn't need terribly much in the way of drafting, given the fiber content of this. But it's usually good practice to at least do some pre-drafting before you start doing the spins. But in this case, it is definitely not warranted. But definitely with the more stubborn fiber, it is definitely something you want to do. Also, ow, right there, my hand's been grumpy today. Don't know why. Alright, let's pull this out here. Also, if I start talking a mile a minute, that means the caffeine has kicked in. Because that is a thing that happens. Not always, but definitely a distinct thing, at least for me, when it's like, hey, I'll just start babbling for no reason and go on to various tangents for no clear reason. Come on. Come on. There it is. Alright, so that lasted pretty much most of the time until first break. So that's pretty good. I don't think I should need to cut another piece of fiber by the end of stream today. Which, I'm going to do the full 3 hours. I don't believe I said so earlier, but you're doing good. I had to concentrate and throw my... Ah, okay. No worries. Yeah, I try to forewarn, because I know how I get once coffee has decided to run away with me for a bit. Although at least I am glad today it was not yesterday, because I only slept for 4 hours yesterday. Don't know why, but I was just wide awake, and I was like, given the I couldn't sleep, I was like, I'll just start doing whatever, and it was 4 a.m. and I was like, nope, you're going to bed, don't care. Don't care if you're not tired, you're going to bed. Because I am very cranky without my sleep, like... Yeah. There are stories. So yeah, definitely glad I slept more than that last night. Although, I have functioned somehow on 2 hours of sleep, so... yeah. 4 hours is not the worst I could have done. I'll be real honest. Yeah, given my scenes and stuff, I feel like I need to, you know, spruce things up a little bit. But it's like, I imagine a good chunk of that stuff might not happen until, like, near about when I take my break for the year, because typically, like, say, about the week of Christmas is about when I stopped streaming for the year, and then I'd say mid-January or so, I tend to come back, so, like, a couple weeks off. Which, the general plan is for about that point in time to cut down the stream schedule from 4 days to 3 days a week. Which I might keep the same 3 hours, might extend it to 4, although 4 is a lot to ask of me. I'm definitely used to the 3-hour format. Yes, I go over sometimes, but yeah, 3 hours is usually my sweet spot. Because my brain after that point tends to be like, how do things? How do words work? Which is also why breaks are important. And also probably why, unless very much caffeine was involved, I could probably never do those 12-hour streams. Or those 24-hour streams. No, if I ever did a 24-hour stream, I would just be like, nope, F streaming the next day. Or 2. Because it's just like, nope, no thanks. So I'm not sure what the heck I could do. I mean, yes, I could change through several activities during the time, but it would just be like, what is happening? Let's see. Alright, yeah, we're just at about break time, if not a little bit past the hour mark. So I'll just do a wee bit more spinning, and then I will go get myself some water. Also, I need to finish that tea. Bit of tea is still there. I am pretty certain of that, so that definitely needs to be a thing I need to finish before it gets completely cold. Although I suspect it might already be cold, because it was getting towards lukewarm at this point, so yeah. Tea will be cold and I will be sad. Because I don't like my tea cold. Okay, yeah, let me get up. I'm just gonna sit here and keep spinning and then forget I should take a break. Which is probably unhelpful. So, let me pause here. Because I realized I was going into the la 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 la. Where the heck should I be doing things? Kind of frame of mind. Alright, cool. So that's what we have so far. And yeah, I feel my hand definitely not liking me right in there. So yeah, I'm gonna go take my break. Be back in about 10 minutes. I've learned to check that. But yeah, very much appreciate it. There are 10 days left. And we'll just need another, what is it? Yeah, 328 points, which those points you can get from the little donut in your lower left-hand part of the chat. So, like, where you click the chat button, it's on the opposite side, which you can see that via both mobile and PC, I believe. But the community challenge is basically I'm gonna planning to be playing some games in December, probably mid-December. That's when we should get the most activity for Project Linus, which that's a charity in which they give blankets to keep the kids warm during the colder time of the year, which, you know, we are now present in. So I figured, why not do a thing? Which we already have GeoGuessr, that's already gone in the books. So we just need the Hades, which you can contribute up to 2,000k in points per person. And with 10 days left, I believe we should still be able to get there. But I really do hope you guys contribute some more points to this. Especially anybody who's been, you know, hoarding their points, not sure what to do with them. This is certainly a good cause to contribute to. So, yeah. We are more than halfway there, and hopefully we will get to the finish line on this one. Which, the plan is to do a different game every single stream day of the week. So, 4 days of me doing this thing. So, it would be the usual Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So, that week there will be no real crafting or art for that week. So, be forewarned. I will likely put it in the events thing on the Discord beforehand, because I just need to fiddle with some things to make sure everything is, you know, all set. So that's a thing I need to get done. But yeah, hi, anybody who has wandered in during the break, hopefully you're having a great Friday. Hope all is well. And or Saturday, depending on where you are in this giant world of ours. Serena Variety Caster of Way Too Many Things. I am currently spinning some yarn, which you can see wheel right here. I will switch over to the spin cam right here to give you a better view. This is merino silk blend that I've got going here. I hadn't spun anything like 2 weeks, and so I was just like, because I've been working on commissions and then shop stuff I've been fiddling around with and seeing how that goes. But I hope you guys are doing well. Anyone who's just chilling, enjoying the chill vibes. Hopefully you guys are having a great day as well. Not required to talk, but I do appreciate your presence here. And for anybody who subs, or anybody who desires to sub, has not heard, Twitch added a couple emote slots to the tier 1 section. So basically affiliates, when you start out, you start with one emote slot, and then you can get a couple of bonus slots by having a certain amount of a certain amount of sub points, which sub points go, a tier 1 slot would be 1 point, tier 2 slot 2 points, and tier 3 is 6, which, given how much tier 3s are, it makes sense. Which we currently do not have an emote for the tier 3, because it's just like, it feels ludicrously expensive for me, in my opinion. I mean, I'd be happy if someone assigns, hey, let's give an emote. I mean, let's give Muddy for potentially cute emote, which I would want something particularly really great for the tier 3. I have to figure out what it would be. But given the additional slots, which these slots go for both affiliates and partners, but it's just especially for affiliates that helps out a bit more because it allows you, you know, to have a bit more of a selection of emotes for potential followers. Which is very much a very good thing. So yeah, I'm gonna probably be pondering ideas on emotes as well. Which, yes, that emote I was working on Wednesday will definitely be part of the tier 1 gang. Because, yeah, I was worried about where the heck I'm gonna put it. So now, that is definitely gonna hang out with the tier 1 gang now that we have a couple additional slots. Well, so you could... Ooh, whoops, I forgot. My hands are that close. You could see how thin I'm spinning. Like, this is thinner than my usual. I'm not sure why I'm drafting a little bit thin, but that'll also mean that, you know, hey, more than likely this is definitely going to be pretty much light sock weight, if not true sock weight yarn, because once it is done, it's going to be, if not chain ply, 3-ply, or potentially a 4-ply, depending on how I go about this. Which I thought about 4-ply, but I kind of do want to just chain ply and see what happens. But I also could just do, like, you know, a half and half sort of deal. Like, do 3 of these bobbins as a 3-ply, and then do 1 as a chain ply and see how it goes from there. As an experiment. But given I have some Polworth and silk braid hanging out there in pink that I'll eventually get to spinning, don't know when the heck that will be. All I know is more than likely it'll be next year, because I doubt the most I will be spinning is like 1 more braid by the end of the year, and then that'll be it, because I have like a couple of braids hanging out here that I know I'm not going to get to this year at this rate, which that is completely fine. I knew I was more than likely not going to need to purchase any floof for this year, given how much I currently possess, which that is mostly due to Don't Poke Me, who has not been around for a while, but I suspect she's been busy with life stuff. Hopefully she's well. She typically does stream the fiber arts stuff, specifically spinning. She also does some knitting. She was knitting some stockings at one point too, which it's like, that is not a thing I've done, but I pondered maybe doing that next year? Maybe. So it'd probably be a good idea to, like, you know, sell stockings and crap. Nope. No saving that one. Damn it. I should have grabbed it, but my brain was just like, la la la. Like, out to lunch, and it's like, guys, why? Alright, cool. Let's grab that back. And there it is. Ta-da! I hate when that happens, but thankfully it is not a common occurrence for me when spinning. Unless, like, I don't put enough twist in it. And then, let's get that to attach here. Also, I did not get to adjust the camera to get my hands to go in here. I forgot. I'll see about doing that next break if I remember. Hopefully. There's a limit to how high up I can put this camera arm, so yeah. I have no promises on that one. Also, I'm gonna need to wash dishes. Although I do remember a cup of water. Once I have some caffeine, it's usually water for the rest of the day. Also, as a thought, I realize I have not explained the bars that are currently below where I am positioned here on the face camera, but those are potential chances for a giveaway in the channel, which Sometimes it's physical prizes, sometimes digital prizes. Which, given I have stamps and stuff, I can easily send stuff like, say, stickers and things of that variety all over the world. Because, you know, thankfully that sort of thing is not terribly expensive. Stop emailing me. But yes, so there is the bit bar, which is currently at 12%. Yeah, 12%. The tip bar. And the last tier 1 emote, which we had that up before Twitch decided, hey, more emote slots. Which I do hopefully want to fill the last emote slot. Well, have access to the last emote slot. Which would get us to the grand total of 9. But, you know, given the boon of more emote slots right now, I am not in a hurry. Plus, I need 50 sub points, and we tend to hover around the current sub point total, which, yes, single digits, but at the most, typically for a month, it's usually about 10, so 1/5 of the way there. So, that's a thing. I mean, we do get the very occasional sub bomb, which I very much appreciate, and do not expect of people. But it's very much a thing where I'm like, what's happening? Because I'm definitely more used to seeing it in other people's channels, because it's always just like, I guess being the observer is different from being, you know, the focus of the thing, if that makes sense. Again, no one is required to contribute. I appreciate when you guys decide and, you know, have the ability to do so. Because, you know, very much take care of you guys first. Before you decide to contribute the things and the stuff. Also, yeah, that's probably better. Although the light's more in my face. Which is why I wasn't sitting this way. I really do need a new light. Also, kind of considering things for packaging with the shop. Because that enamel pin that I gotten from Debbie Cat, she had put these holographic plastic, reusable plastic bags sort of thing. Which I can grab it from there. Let's see. It's in my eyesight of line, so I should be able to reach it from here, no problem. Yeah, one of these, which I was looking at this stuff on Amazon. You can get like a packet of like 100, although I'd rather a pack of 50, so I'd be able to put stuff like, say, my stitch markers in there, or the pins. But yeah, I really do like these, but I would hope, oh wow, they really are translucent. I couldn't tell. It looks a little bit more opaque when you look at it, but that is really translucent once you have the light on there. I'm hoping to see if I could find those in purple. But yeah, I do want to spruce up my packaging, because that is a thing I am trying to be better at. Because it's either those or something along the lines of those mesh bags that Serenadia, who also streams here on Twitch, has. But also, you know, in purple, keeping with the whole purple aesthetic. Which, given I'm wearing a blue shirt, I guess kind of defeats the aesthetic, but I am spinning purple yarn, so it balances out. I wager. Just a bit. Ba-da-da. So I have not sketched in my sketchbook this month, but that's in part because A, the ELO sketchbooks are currently out of stock, at least on Amazon, once again. But it's the middle of November, I'm hoping they come back in stock before the end of the year so I can grab one. Because I really do want to get my hands on an 8x8 sketchbook. Because I have the 4.5 by 4.5 inch one, which I do like, but it is kind of small, so I am probably going to go do the 8x8 because I feel like that is the size I'd be comfortable with. I think I should probably do at least a little bit of stuff in there. Because I think after last month of me, you know, doing the drawing every day, my brain was like, nope. I need a break. But at the same time, I do want to finish it this year. So I honestly thought I would finish that book more quickly. But I think it's because I don't want to finish the book and not have another sketchbook to immediately start sketching in. It's just, that is currently my second sketchbook ever, which I have not done a sketchbook tour of the first one. I'm not fully sure I will, I'll be real honest, because there's stuff where it's like, not sure you need to see that. Not that it's the worst thing in the world, but it's like, stuff could be better. Which, first ever sketchbook was 8.5 by 11, which, 8.5 by 11, definitely not having a sketchbook that size again, because that was way too big, took me way too much time, plus it didn't help the whole, I couldn't use, like, supplies like watercolor pencils, because that was purely a sketchbook, given the weight of the paper was not anywhere near enough for, say, anything involving ink or watercolor or gouache, which I didn't have the gouache at the time. That is a more recent investment that I partook in. Come on. Yeah, it's a little thick. That's better. Come on. Oops. Please don't break. Yeah, I was about to. That would have been fun. Said absolutely no one. So let's pinch this guy back together. Hope it holds. Alright, so that held up. Cool. Yay! I was worried that was not going to stick enough. Also, I'm quite a bit through this already. A lot faster than I thought I would be. The wheel is currently... How fast am I going? Okay, I'm like between 1 and 2. I could pick up the speed a little bit. little bit more. Because 2 is typically as fast as I usually want to keep it. Even with this, anything past 2 is a bit too fast for me. Although, the more tension I put on this, the faster it has to go in order to be able to pick up properly. I usually don't put a ton of tension on here, so that is usually not a problem. Also, I probably look like I'm in perpetual squint given the light's right in my face. And it's driving me nuts. I'm trying to avoid looking in that direction so I don't nearly blind myself. Although the light's not at full power, thankfully. Alright, Alright, yeah. I'll time to move my hook. Wait, when did it end up back there? I swear it was like right up here. I didn't move the hook, unless... Ah, I put it back on the wrong fucking hook. Ugh. I put it back on the wrong fucking hook. Damn it. Because there are similar points, and this is like definitely a bit further forward than that. I should have checked. Oh well. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Also, my brain. Ada Fox, if you're still here. I got Animal Crossing the other day. It definitely reads similar like Stardew in some ways, except the whole debt part. To Tom Nook, the con man. CEO. I mean, yes, he's not a CEO, but you know what I mean. And so far, I've been enjoying it. We've gotten to the whole, you can get a house, which my neighbors have a house and I haven't bothered yet. I kind of want to save up a little bit in bells before I'm like, let's go, you know, do a house, which, how much do I need to pay? Although, I think the payback thing is in miles, which, can you convert bells to miles? I don't think so, but I could always Google that at some point in time. Also, if you're lurking, feel free to ignore me. It just occurred to me given you were playing. Or at least the last time I talked to you, you were playing Animal Crossing. Although, the one thing I can say I am not terribly fond of in regards to AC is definitely the whole sound effect when they're talking. I really do wish I could turn that off, but there's no way to turn that off. So I just don't plug my thing in with the sound. Because I don't have to hear it. It really does drive me insane. Not sure why it annoys me, but it does. Also, apparently there's a thing once you get those little, one of those little prizes, and you lose it in the river, which that happened. I popped the thing and it dropped right in the river. I was like, fuck. I mean, it got me some miles, but I do wonder what came in it. As a sad. Also planting a money tree. What you drop? Wow, it's going fast enough. I could definitely see. Oh no, I think it's partially because my arm was on it, but it's. Is this thing shaking, or is it just my imagination? Might be my imagination? No. I definitely see it moving a tiny, tiny bit. Nothing to write home about. Do 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 do. Also, that reminds me, you'd linked me to one of those sketchbooks. Back to the vein of sketchbooks. Let me quickly go over to... Let's see, over here. I hope I kept that link. Nope. Okay, doesn't look like it did. Oh no, it is. Etcher. Alright. Do they have a square one? I don't think so. 8.5 by 11. No. 5 by 8. And then that's probably even smaller. Yeah, 6 by 5. That's a shame. I had hoped that they would have a square one. Unless there is a square option I'm not seeing. Visit the blah 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 store. Let's see, sketchbooks. Accordion. What, do you guys not offer a square one? That's a shame. Oh well. Which, anybody wondering what the hell I am talking about? I'm referring to these, which have like a customizable cover thing. Which arguably you could do that with any sketchbook. Which Angel Fox had linked me to a while back. And I have it sitting in the, you know, to look at later part of the Amazon cart. I don't know. Not sure if I'm gonna get that specifically. We'll see. I guess still pondering sketchbook options. I definitely want something I could do watercolor and stuff, but I'd like it to still be able to sketch in as well. And do other things with. Also, I should be watching this. Yeah, I might need to move the hook, maybe? Are we even close to that? Maybe. Oh, it's now 9 days left. Yeah, this is probably about when I started. It said 10. I really wish this thing would count down the hours. Twitch. Come on. Fucking hell. The second time in an hour, man. Which, let's see. Okay, that's this side. Cool. And... did not think that would happen twice in an hour, but here we are. Luckily, that's easily fixable. But I very much would like that to stop being a thing. Come on. Yeah, I'm worried about that breaking. Let's not. That will, like, probably break in, like, 2 seconds, because that is, like, eyelash thin. Even if it is silk. Silk has its goddamn limits. And I'd very much would like to not test them. Nope. That was probably too much twist. Damn it. How dare you? What have I done to deserve this? Luckily, I don't have an immediate need to do this, so I'm not in a rush or anything. Alright, let's draft this area. See if I can do the things. Also, let me check the music. I'm not sure why it feels like I've been listening to the same thing. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm still in this. Might not get to the next thing after that. Oh, alright. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, let's fix our little problem here. And we can get back to the spin time of Floof. Alright, I'm gonna start adding on the other piece, given it's like this little tuft now. I should have drafted that the last time I paused, but I did not. I'm gonna weigh it down with the mouse, and let's draft this half. Also, okay, here's starting to complain slightly. So I've definitely been hunching a little bit too much, and I really should stop doing that. So I still have no idea when it comes to the community challenge. Not the community challenge, more like the... for hitting the goals, what I would do for the charity thing. Enough times, you know, when people do things to contribute, it's like, hey, do a thing, and it's like, I don't even know what I would do, given how chill I tend to be here on stream. I'm not sure what the heck I would do. I do need to think about it. I swear every time I come in here I say that, and then it's just like, I do not. I end up doing other things. Alright, let's get this to attach to a new piece. There it is. There, let's make sure that connected smoothly. Because sometimes it doesn't. I have to sit there and draft because it gets a little too thick to my liking. Then when it comes to transition to adding on pieces, you typically want it to pretty much be as smooth as you can possibly get. Which that's one of those, it just takes practice, so you just gotta work out the thing and see how it works. Which that's also a thing with the whole consistency matter when it comes to spinning your own yarn. But arguably at the same time, you don't need it to be perfect, because if you wanted something, you know, perfectly uniform and perfect, you would go to the store and buy yourself some yarn. So having little, you know, slight inconsistencies is not a problem, as long as you're able to use the thing. Or, well, and or you happen to learn something. Because that is also helpful. So that is always something you can use for the next time you spin floof, or whatever the case may have you. I'm gonna probably need to move this hook soon-ish. Although, I might be fine until break. Maybe. Although, either way, my bobbins are typically not that even, so it'll be fine. Yeah, I think I can move this just about now. Yeah. I can move this hook, so let me pause. And come on. This is really thin. Come on. Pause that for a second, because it's not drafting. That's better. Because the pull of it was not really allowing me to draft as well as I should be. Also, I hope it's not picking up too much sound. I don't think so. The only thing I'm really hearing is like maybe the bobbin knocking around a little bit. But it's honestly nothing to write home about. Because honestly, compared to the Nano, which there's going to be a Nano 2.0 happening sometime next year, which I imagine might run quieter than the current iteration. Although I say that like I have the current one. Umberhawk, hello. No, you cannot today. How are you doing? I am here spinning Floof, the easiest thing unless like something breaks. Which that's happened a couple times. That's mainly because I put too much twist. Or draft a little too thinly in spots. But how goes things? Also, what time is it? Yeah, because I started late, so it's gonna be me going until about 4:30? Because I got here about... Well, to get started, I got started at about 1:30. Because I had to go out and do the things outside. But I hope all's good with you. Been talking about stuff like the extra emote slots. Oh. Well, better than not being, arguably. But yeah, I needed something simple because I had the joy of getting blood drawn and crap, so I was like, what's the thing I don't have to think about the most and involves the least amount of arm work? So this, plus I haven't spun in a while on stream. So that is certainly another reason to do so. Oh, I'm gonna probably need to cut another piece of this by the time I'm get to the next hour. Because I still have one more hour of stream left, but I'm probably, in the next couple of minutes, gonna take my break. And get up and stretch. Also, wash out the couple of plates that currently reside in the sink from about an hour ago. Also, I should probably drink this water I keep talking about and then never remember. That's better. My throat was getting a wee bit dry. Alright. Yeah, basically extra emote slots that Twitch decided to do, and then there's the whole Streamlabs craziness going on. Which I only saw again via Twitter, and I was just like, so this is on fire. That's great. Although, that is arguably Twitter's constant state of being. I mean, yes, there's like some very rare light spots, and then other times it's just like, everything sucks. Why am I here? So I pretty much avoid that. Like, literally, the only social media I really frequent training vids. friend of mine had to watch one of those. He hated them so much. I mean, yes, it's easy, but it's like you would rather be doing anything else but watching training vids, so I feel that. And bringing things up, I am like probably, I was gonna say least exciting. I'm not that bad, but I'm like, I am certainly of the more chill variety, so pumping things up is probably not really in my qualifications. Unless random good things happen and I freak the hell out. Which is a thing. But yeah, the Streamlabs, OBS, crazy shit, which I need to go look in depth about that to see what the heck that is. But I think that's more of if you do the thing, because to get the link, you have to pay for that in Streamlabs, so I was just like, we're not doing that? At least you're not running off a script. There. Fair. So I'm not saying, you know, the same 5 things for 3 hours. Also, apparently, I think USPS lost a package. Which, one of my family members wanted me to buy them a case because their old one is, you know, falling apart. They've done a variety of things to destroy their previous phone, so they kind of need a case. Which, I'd gotten one that's, like, good quality. And it's like, once it got through to New Jersey, like, it was, I think, supposedly supposed to be switching to the USPS. That's when the tracking stopped, and it kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. It was really weird. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, I mean, Amazon gave me my return back. Which, that was not going to go unchallenged, because no. So I'm going to have to go find another case for a similar price. It's kind of irritating me. And unfortunately not made out of money. Plus the whole... This is kind of like, you know... Not really doing it in the financial sector, which, again, I was not pegging my whole life to how much money this is gonna make me. I do enjoy being here and hanging out with you guys, but, you know, at the same time, it's like... I usually have to think of that factor as well. And given the purgatory that is... Go here, click on that. I'll show you this for an app they didn't give you access to yet, so you can only watch. You have to try and... What? No! That is stupid. Then what's the point? What the hell is the goddamn point then? That is strange. Someone clearly did not think that through. Or several somebodies. Fuck, don't break it. They are trying. Unfortunately, that is not the place to be going to sleep. Alright, I'm gonna quickly take my break before I forget. Because I'm just gonna sit here and spin, and then not take my break. And then my neck will be like, what the fuck, dude? Because the back of my neck, because I'm definitely, like, hunched down, and my neck's like, what are you doing? After a while, so I need to do that. Also, probably cut another piece of fiber, because this is what I have left. I mean, I'm working from home, so I can get it fair. But it's probably best to not take the nap until you're done for the day. But also, yay, working from home. But yeah, I'm gonna go do the break stuff. Definitely feel free to get up and stretch if you've been hanging out. Potentially working, lurking, doing the craft things wherever the case may have you. You know, get some water or wander off to go do things. Either way, very much appreciate you spending your time with me, and I'll be back in the usual 10 minutes. Hi, how goes? Hope all is well. I'm here, well, about to start spinning Floof again. Been doing that all stream, and chatting about various things and stuff. Like the whole current Streamlabs debacle. It's been a thing. Which I really do need to get more in-depth information about, because I've honestly only given it a cursory glance. Which I've not been getting anything charging. Typing up, nice! Yeah, and that's usually a bit of work. You always think it's gonna take like 5 seconds, and then it's just like, no, it is not gonna take 5 seconds. I got started a bit late today, so you're gonna see me a little bit longer than you would expect. I'm gonna be here till about 4:30, so you have a bit of time to hang out with us here. Which, I'm still trying to find Ribbler, and it does not seem to be working for me. Do you happen to have a link? Ah, okay. I might put the heart head on there, maybe. Come on. Post my nice, thank you. Because normally I'd be able to suss it out via Google. So it was really strange I couldn't find it. Let's see. Yep. I had to be outside and go do a thing or two, so I got here a little bit later than I would have wanted. Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna go fiddle with this later if I have the time. If not today, tomorrow. Because I have a couple of things I need to get done. Because you heard about the additional emote slots. So that's a thing I kind of need to get on. Because that's a thing I'm just like, I kind of feel the pressure to fill the slots immediately, but at the same time, it's like, it's better to just take my time. Because I don't want to put in shoddy work. But yeah, basically for all affiliates and partners, we all have additional tier 1 emote slots. So, thusly, anybody who's starting up at an affiliate now, you start up with a regular amount of 5, and then the, you know, the ones that you earn by having a certain number of sub points. Thus giving affiliates a total of 9 at the most you can have for tier 1, which is a lot more than, you know, originally, which is really great news. Also allows a bit more versatility in your tier 1 emotes. Although at the same time kind of force you to be like, how do I do the thing? Especially if you do your own emotes like I do, and various other streamers who happen to do things like Doodle Arch do. Also, I should have drafted before. Oh well. I can do that now. Although I don't need to draft terribly much. Also, just a reminder, we now have apparently 9 more days to do the community challenge to complete it, which we are actually 50% of the way there. I honestly didn't think we'd be having this one hanging around so long, but anybody who wishes to contribute their channel points, which it is the Twitch channel points and not the bot channel points that exist in channel. But you can find how many points that you happen to have by checking the little thing on the lower left-hand side of the bottom of chat. The community challenge is in relation to anybody who wants to give their channel points who've potentially been saving them up for other things if they didn't like or didn't feel like using any of the options available currently, which there'll be some additions to it somewhere down the line. Not immediately, but I have some plans. Probably around when I get my next payout, which is pretty much guaranteed at this point to be next month. I'm hoping I'd get mine this month, but I was just a wee bit shy. But we'll see how it goes. But yes, the community challenge is basically one of the potential game options I'll be having to play during next month's essentially gaming for charity. What I'll be doing is essentially playing some games for Project Linus. Potentially give them some funds because, you know, to keep the small humans warm during the winter cold season coming up here. Well, already happening considering how this morning felt for us here. But yeah. The GeoGuessr one's already in the books. This is Hades, which I have that already. These are games I already have, but, you know, I haven't played them. I have not done charity stream before, so it'll be interesting. I haven't done, like, figured out what I would do for, like, goals and stuff. Like, maybe some giveaways and some stuff of, like, you know, some of my art and some other things. But it'll be interesting. But GeoGuessr, I suck at geography. So it's basically gonna be, we're all lost together. That'll be that. There's Hades, which, you know, that'll be essentially a game of futility because you basically fail until you succeed. Which I have almost all the weapons unlocked. Well, actually the ones that I like. So I might be able to get far. And then there's Ori and the Blind Forest. Thank you for that hydrate. I have a cup of water hanging out over here. And then the other game, I'm not sure what it'll be, because it's going to be a different game every single stream. Because I want to keep some variety. But whatever proceeds we happen to make within, you know, those 4 streams, will go directly to the charity. And now that is empty. I'll have to fill that at some point. We'll see. But with the community challenge, everyone can contribute 2k max in channel points per stream. And given we're halfway there, that would mean about 6 of you guys? Yeah, about 6 of you guys would have to contribute the max amount. For us to get pretty close. Like, exceedingly close. Because it's 12,000... 12,328 points left. Which it says raise 13, but it tends to round up there, so you have to click it if it's still above the thing for you guys. Which I'm surprised it's still there. It disappears after a while. After someone contributes. But we're getting there, and we will hopefully make it. But either way, I more than likely will end up playing that game, because I really do enjoy it. Even though it's very intense. I'm like, don't fail the thing now. Which I've played it more on my Switch. I haven't played it in a little while. I have not beaten it yet, but given this game has quite a bit of replayability, given you don't see everything your first go through, it's definitely what makes the game interesting. Also, otherwise, do you play Animal Crossing? I kind of started playing that a couple days ago. I got the game because my card allows me to get stuff like gift cards and that sort of thing with my thank you points. And it was just like, given how much points I have racked up over the years I've had this thing, I was like, oh, I can get a couple of gift cards. I honestly could have gotten more, but I was like, you know what? 2 $50 gift cards for like half the points I have is probably not bad. Also, I should probably move this hook soon enough. Oops. Okay, yeah, I wanted to get a little twist in there. So it wouldn't rip out. Because it was about to break. And I did not need that in my life. Alright. Also, I was considering packaging things and stuff. I had mentioned this earlier, but Debbie Cat, you know, does the cute cat emotes and such, hangs out here on Twitch. She had used this for packaging, and I think I want to use that, if not something similar to those, like color-wise, for, you know, packaging things like my stitch markers. But I would like a small quantity of them. I don't need a ton. But unfortunately, they typically sell them like 50 to 100 bulk. But that's one of those things, once I get my next payout, I would, you know, put into in order to step up my packaging game a little bit. There it is. Oh yeah, I forgot I was watching stuff with after stream, if not a little bit later. I completely forgot, given the whole running around today. Oh wells. Definitely should still be able to do that. And hopefully I might be able to work with either suck or emote. We'll see. Because I had an emote in the works before the whole Twitch deciding we need more emote slots is a thing. Which, as I keep ruminating about, I think I might put a vote on like what you guys would want to put into some of those emote slots. We'll see how it goes. Come on. We're definitely making a bit of progress. We probably would have been a little bit farther today if I wasn't doing these rows a bit thickly. I'm trying to keep it some semblance of even. Not too great on that, but meh. The one thing I would love to have in Animal Crossing right now, getting back to that, is mainly the have more pocket space. Honestly, it makes... I was about to say Farmville, but Farmville is Facebook crap. Stardew Valley. It makes Stardew Valley's pocket size look spacious. Because it has 36 overall, although, what's its face? Animal Crossing Max, based on what research I've done, gives you 40 at max. And given I just started playing, you know, having all the supplies and stuff, it's like, I do not appreciate having, you know, my pockets fill up so quickly with the 20 slots. And given how much stuff ends up in there, like tools and stuff, it's like, man, I wish for a chest, and it's like, wrong game. Wrong game. But I really do wish I had, you know, chest of some damn kind. Like, that would be great. To be able to ditch some stuff in. Which, there might be stuff that I could be able to craft that into, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. That'd probably be something I have to Google. Does Animal Crossing have chests of some kind? Or at least some storage capacity space that you could, like, chuck some stuff in. So you don't have to keep, you know, your supplies for making stuff with you at all times. Because that fills up a good chunk of these slots there. Which is very much frustrating and irritating. Although it kind of amuses me that you can use an axe to break a rock, and it's like, don't you need a pickaxe? But no. Apparently not in Animal Crossing. But I guess it's so you don't have to have another tool, which, fine, I can deal with that. But still, it's like, feels suspect, but, you know, talking animals and such means obviously not based in reality. I'd made these a bit shorter, so definitely gonna at least run into this being done, but the other half hopefully should not finish by the time I finish stream today. Cause I noticed the piece in my hand is a little bit short already, like, it is approaching nub size soon enough. Also, draft. That's a little too thick. There we are. Alright. But yeah, other than the various things I've mentioned and run down today. I do not have terribly much to discuss, really. Although, I am wondering what the heck I'm gonna be watching. What you gonna... Eventually, again, this will be sock yarn because this is a merino silk blend. 80% merino, 20% Tessa silk. I gotten this from Alley Cat, who has an Etsy shop. Which should still have Floof in there. Not that bad. Honestly, this is not that bad in expense. How much was this? Because again, this has been sitting in my stash for a year. I believe this was like 20-something dollars. I would have to check my Etsy. Yeah, no, I don't got time for expensive stuff. I don't got that cash. I'll be real honest. Plus, I do not do the whole buy stupid expensive yarn, which I don't begrudge anybody who can do that, but it's just not my thing. I mean, unless you get to do the yak or camel or the fancy stuff like that, which I would love to, or at least try it. Alright, let's see. Oh, it took me to my shop thingy. I don't need to go to the shop manager. Yeah, welcome back. Blah, blah. Ooh, I was looking at these. Let's see. Shop. Nope. I'm a dumbass. That's not where I need to be. Oh, that's new. I wonder what that refers to, but I can look at that another time. Yeah, it was closer to $30. That's what I was thinking. 28, 26. Which, you know, shipping and tax, that probably went into as well. Yeah, shipping for $4 and then sales tax. So not ridiculously expensive by any measures. Plus, this is like slightly over 4 ounces, so this is definitely going to give me quite a bit of sock yarn, which I'm good with. Alright, cool. Let's go over here so I can actually see chat again. Is fair enough. Again, this is not a thing I partake in often. Like, a good chunk of my Floof stash is stuff that I've gotten gifted. Plus, there's also the Knitpick / We Crochet. They sell Floof. Not for sock stuff, although you could use it for socks if you want to spin it with socks. But it's 100% like Peruvian wool. Which I have 2 of those, and those are like 6-7. Yeah, that is the plan. Although, depending on my yardage, it would probably be about two pairs. Because about a pair of socks for me is, give or take, about 200 yards, give or take. But depending on what I do, like say if I do cables, or a textural thing. But again, no idea. It depends on how this spins up. Well, morally, how it plies. But that's one of those. We'll see down the road, because I'm nowhere near done doing this. Also, let's see. Can I get this? That's better. But is it gonna... No, it's not gonna stay. That's as good as it's gonna get. I really do need a new LED lamp. I regret getting that one with that neck right there. Because that neck is pretty much gone now. Although I suspect that's partially my own fault, because I've dropped that thing on the floor a couple of times. So that's probably not helped the matter. But the thing is, that has not messed with the light any, which is certainly good, but it does make things difficult when I'm trying to do stuff like this. Alright, come on. There it is. So that's like on my main list of things to get pretty soon. Placement lights. Although I haven't fully decided on what kind of light it's gonna be. Because I could always get a circle light too. Because that would be helpful. And very much more even about which... yeah, they're LEDs. This is LED. The bulb in here. But I'm saying, like, what sort of setup it would be. Like, would it be the circle one or something like this, but, you know, the neck would be a lot more adjustable, thus allowing it to last longer? So I've had this thing for just about a year or so, which I'm very glad I invested in one of these, because, you know, lighting has always been an issue, in part because of based on where I'm seated here. So it's a nice little help. Although I kind of wish I could do, like, clamp it on the table style, so it wouldn't take up as much space. Which they do have ones with, like, clamps, like this sort of clamp, like for the camera sort of thing. But I don't want to have another one of those, because I don't think I would have anywhere great to put it. And I'm trying not to put too much space with the streaming stuffs. So I very much prefer something like that I could just set down. Also, I've not been paying attention to the bobbin. I've just been like, la 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 la, talk and do the thing, and not pay attention to my bobbin. Once again. Which is about time to move the hook. Yeah, that is always a must. I mean, it's good if you have, like, a setup where it's, like, really sunny and nice, so you don't really have to worry about the lighting as much, but it's always good to have some additional lighting to help you out. Because, you know, weather is not always cooperative. PC, yeah, the PC is probably where you're gonna have to spend a good chunk of change for anything, because you'll definitely want something that runs at least 8 RAMs bare minimum. But it's better to shoot for 12 or 16. Which, mine is 12. This is an upgrade. The previous one I had before was 8 RAMs. Because if you especially want to play some games and stuff at times, you'll definitely need something that'll be able to handle a bit of effort. Which 8 RAM PC cannot. Cannot. Also, given with this mic, which I do like this mic, but I think I might see about getting a pop filter, which that is on the Amazon wish list of things to get. I'm kind of, like, definitely in the newish territory when it comes to that. Don't know a lot, but I do have some basic knowledge here and there. Alright, we're probably not going to get all the way to the front today, which is perfectly fine, but I'm glad to have at least made some progress on this. Because That was sitting there next to me on my nightstand, and I'm just like, I have other stuff to do. I don't have time to spin this. Also, whoever contributed more points to the community challenge, I very much appreciate you. I didn't see it pop up, because normally it tells me who. But I'm guessing it must have been someone who's already contributed to the thing or something. I'm not sure. That's really strange. Yes, thank you for your points. We're definitely close to the actual 13,000 mark. So that means now it's 12,048. That we have left to complete that community goal. Alright. Oh yeah, I didn't adjust this to show my hands. Once again, although you could technically kind of see my hands right here. But not terribly much, although if I move this a little bit, excuse me, whoops, like a little bit higher, like so, my hands would be slightly more in frame. But based on where I am and the light, where it's casting, right here is where the shadow is, which is obnoxiously unfortunate. Like, I would need a secondary light here, or just turn on these ceiling lights. Which I could do that. I don't feel like it, so... This is what you get for the moment. Alright. A little bit more twist here. Alright, how much time do we have left? Alright, another 8 minutes? Yeah. Should be fine. I should hopefully not need to cut any more floof. The last remaining time that we have today. Also, I think I was mentioning earlier about potentially making different kinds of the chainmail stitch markers. Which I was thinking about potentially doing stuff with the reverse spiral, which reverse spiral is something along the lines of, which I'm wearing a bracelet that has that. Which, let's careful and not put my hand on the thing. But yeah, this design that's going here, which that's actually purple. The camera has a weird time picking up purple unless I manually adjust the white balance. So I was thinking maybe like a small section of that, which I'm not sure if I would use my regular 18 rings, so the larger rings that I typically use for stuff, or use the wee little tiny rings. Like these. So I really do enjoy that weave. It is really, really pretty. And not difficult. But I have to figure out how I would get it to work. Which shouldn't be too difficult. Which, arguably, with like a good chunk of these, I could pretty much make them into earrings as well. Although I'd probably want better earring posts. I have the cheap ones from Michaels, which, if you wear them, like, a lot, you know how they get dingy real quick. But if you're not wearing them, like, frequently, they're usually alright, but I know some people are allergic to stuff that has nickel in it. So I'd probably have to get something with, like, you know, steel. So that's a whole thing. Plus there's, what is this thing? It's like a pine cone sort of thing, which I've been meaning to fiddle around with. Because I'd had the pattern, but that website had shut down. And it was a different website from where I get most of my weaves from. Which I am still very much in noob territory when it comes to weaving. But honestly, it's terribly more of a hobby than anything else. But I do enjoy it. And I try to do it sparingly so my hands don't hate me too much. Because after a while, you know, hands and the shoulders and the everything very much do not appreciate you doing the thing. Especially depends on what kind of materials you're using. Although you can argue that of any craft, really. Because like I say, I tend to hunch terribly much with this, and the back of my neck has gotten prone to me very much being pissed at me after a couple of hours if I don't stretch. Like if I don't like roll my neck like so. And give it a break. Which is why, especially when I'm streaming, I try to be good at taking breaks. I'm working on it off stream. I'm trying to be better at that. I try to like get up and walk around a bit to give myself some time to just, you know, not look at the thing, whatever it is I'm happening to be working on, which, whether it be a crafting thing or wallpaper thing, or whatever the case may have you, which, speaking of art things, I really do need to start sketching that Draw This in Your Style thing that's coming up soon. Well, it's not coming up soon. I have till December 10th, but I want to at least get the sketch started. If not this week, early next week, to give myself time to, you know, color it and all that jazz. Because you think it's going to take 5 seconds to do a thing, and it takes a lot longer because, you know, details. Details exist. You gotta do all the highlights and the shadows and all the things. Well, not all the things. It does depend on your style, too. Alright. Yeah, I should have enough for just about the end of stream. I have like a little nub left, but it's gonna be enough for like the next minute, which is about what we have left, so this pretty much worked out almost exactly to how much I needed to, which very much works for me. Come on. Also, my hand's very much grumpy and I don't like it. So I'm definitely gonna have to take at least some level of a break once I'm done for today, on stream at least, to give myself at least a wee bit of time. Alright, and okay, yeah, right there. So I really might have to add another piece here. Great. I thought I'd be able to stretch it out. That was apparently a lie. Although if I'd slowed down the wheel just a little bit, it would have worked out too. If it wasn't for you meddling kids. Ah, classic Scooby-Doo. I have not watched Scooby-Doo in ages. It's definitely one of my favorites. Come on. There we are. So let me just add on this piece here. So I guess tiny bit of overtime. Just a wee bit. Just so I can attach this piece onto here. And maybe see about hosting somebody. You liked... Yep, that was my jam. That was my jam. The classic one that popped up, especially on Boomerang. Do we still have Boomerang? I think we do. That and Tom and Jerry. Those were the days. Also classic Looney Tunes as well. Definitely all favorites of mine. Which one of the Scooby-Doo chase songs? I think I have that on my phone somewhere. Where like, on a Saturday morning, round and round, don't know what to do, round and round, I've been dreaming about Monday, I'll be dreaming about you, yeah, 7 days a week now. The one with the caveman. Or supposed caveman. Alright, so we've got that attached. And let's see where we can go from here. Also, oh wow, it's gotten dark. You're Thank you. I used to play music with lyrics, and I used to do that all the time, and it's like, I didn't want to annoy people. So that plus the whole DMCA business kind of puts the kibosh on that. So I try not to do that. Blah da da da. Where are we? Twitch. Twitch, where art thou? Alright. Okay, okay, Punk's Pixie Blue is weaving, which looks like fun. Yeah, we can go over there. So let me go up here. Face camera. I didn't realize it got dark, but it is getting dark. Can this dark at 5 o'clock thing stop being a thing? I very much would love it if it'd stop. Alright, so let's go open up that channel. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Savvy and Bams, I believe you're still lurking. If you are, hi! Thank you guys both for hosting the channel. I believe that was about it and stuff that happened today. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it is about it, if memory serves me correct. Yep, okay, cool. I like to make sure, because Twitch, the actual Twitch thing, does not hold hosts that have less than 3 people. Because it's stupid, although at the same time, it's probably a good thing, so, you know, you don't end up with alerts every 5 seconds. Uh-oh, nope, did not mean to click that, I don't need to see that. And we have an ad! Gotta wait for this ad to finish up here. But yes, anybody who has been hanging out here, I very much appreciate you hanging out here, listening to me go on about things at random. I hope you guys are doing well. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Also, I realize I think I killed the chat in my channel. Let's go back here. I know I'd still be able to see it in the bot. Yeah. Yep, I'd close the channel. Oops. That is my bad. But yes. you guys enjoy your weekend if you're not here tomorrow, because I am on once again tomorrow at the usual time. Should be here on time tomorrow. Fingers crossed nothing happens. From about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which, if you happen to check the panels, there should be a thing that tells you what time zone, or check the schedule section. That is available to you in your panels, which, you know, if you're on PC, below the video, or on mobile, you should be able to press the thing, press my picture, and then go to the schedule section, and it'll tell you what that time will be in your respective time zones. If you guys want to support in any way, obviously the usual bits, tips to the PayPal, the Etsy shop, where I do the whole bunch of stuff, so chainmail stitch markers, whatever the case may have you, which, you know, you can show to other people if they happen to have an interest in that sort of thing, and the Ko-fi shop, which Ko-fi shop is more digital stuff, so a couple of wallpapers, donut pins, because I felt the donut pins would probably be better suited in the Ko-fi shop. If you want to get your hands on one of those, you can check it out there too. And also, probably going to be adding the heart hat pattern on there at some point. I meant to do that days ago, but been busy. But to get to any of those links, you can do !follow, and my link tree will give you all the places and stuff I can be. And that also includes, you know, Instagram, Twitter, and that sort of stuff. There it is. Which the bot periodically gives you that too, but I figured it'd be easier that way. But again, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Chill vibes, so on and so forth. And I will hopefully see you guys again soon. Bye!